It is Tuesday, the 9th of June. This morning we checked out of the gorgeous Campo de Fiori apartments in Calvi and we've headed inland to Corte, where we are now. It was a chill 4 full days at the apartment, 5 nights, so we just kicked back and did very little. Enjoyed the beautiful little town and its beach and the surrounding areas. We have a ferry booked to leave Corsica on Friday morning to head back to Toulon, back onto the French mainland. So in the intervening days, we are going to make our way down to Ajaccio, however that is pronounced, where we're going to get the ferry from. Our first port of call is, of course, the town of Corte. And for the next 2 nights, we've not yet decided. Corte is central. Well, I think it's central in terms of east to west, but it is in the northern part of the island. So we've got a couple of days to work our way down. Corte has a citadel and it's all the way up there. So we've actually just been chilling out in the van this afternoon. We got here late lunch and it's now around about 5 o'clock. It was 28, 29 degrees. So we waited for the evening for it to cool down a bit. But unfortunately, we've got to go up to get there and into the old city as well. This beautiful little beach area by the river is just outside our campsite. And on reflection, maybe we should have come down here for a dip rather than just sitting by the van. To get up to the Citadel, there is a path and some steps. Karen is leading the way. Even at 5, it's still quite warm, but there is a beautiful cool breeze blowing at the moment. Corte is up in the mountains. I don't know how high we are, but we are quite a way up. Our campsite is back down there in amongst the trees. That is one hell of a valley. We definitely made the right choice of deferring this to the evening. This is a monster climb. And they are really big, chunky steps. At the top of that climb, we are greeted with a somewhat tacky souvenir shop. Behind me there is a viewing platform. So whilst I'm here, it's got to be done. And there is the Citadel from the little platform. The views from up here are incredible. Down off to my left is that little swimming spot with the campsite off beyond to the left, and then looking back up the valley, which I think is probably north or maybe northwest. Needless to say, we haven't checked whether or not we can get into the Citadel, given the time of day. If it's a museum, then of course I suspect not. And there does appear to be a dearth of people up on the ramparts. So I'm going to assume that we're not going to be able to get in. But we'll have a wander around anyway. The gates are open, so we can go and have a bit of an explore. There is a stage with a gaggle of women. I wonder if they'll be listening to Green Day at some point. Unfortunately, although we could get past the initial ramparts and through the gate, the rest of the Citadel is ticket only, and it shuts in 20 minutes. So not enough time for us to go in, really. Such a shame. We might do it tomorrow. All is not lost. We're going to go and check out the town, get a drink somewhere, and come back and visit the Citadel tomorrow morning. We'll try and get up before it gets too hot, and then chill down by the river in the afternoon. There is a smattering of bars and cafes around the town. And it has a nice, cool vibe to it. It has cooled down beautifully, as we've had a couple of drinks at one of the bars in town. So hopefully the descent down those obnoxiously steep steps won't be as hard as it was coming up. I think I said on the way up that not only are these steps really steep, but they are really big, really big steps, which is especially a problem for Karen's little legs. And I've had a couple of beers. So hopefully I won't be falling down the steps. Wednesday the 10th, and we are still in the town or the city of Corte. It is absolutely gorgeous. Blue skies and starting to cook already. And we're round about 10 o'clock, I think. So we are going to go back into the old city, which is above me to my right. And this time, get into Citadel and have a good explore. And then probably come back and have a dip in the river behind me there. This morning, though, we are not going to be taking those rather steep and chunky steps. We're going to walk around and hopefully along a much easier route than that brutal climb we did last night. Although it is in shade at the moment. The climb up on the road was significantly more civilised than the path we took last night. But we are in the museum and Citadel for the ridiculously cheap price of €4 each. We're going to explore the Citadel first, get the hot bit out of the way, and then enjoy the cool air conditioning of the museum. Given the relatively easy climb to get to Citadel, it would be naive to think there was no more climbing to be done. According to the blurb, it is one of 7 citadels built on the island of Corsica, and it was the first of those. It is the only one inland. All the rest are on the coast, a bit like the one at Calvi. This one was originally built in 1419 and then expanded in 1769. I'm pretty sure that this is the way we came in from the north, down through that valley. And the views off to the east and the south are panoramic. Looking the other way, we have mountains. So far, it is Karen and I, and one other couple behind me. I think this is pretty much as high as we're going to get, and it's clearly been restored up here. And there's our little viewing point from last night. I guess it's always a concern with these old relics as to how they're restored, but that central part, it just looks brand spanking new, which I guess means it's going to be secured for future generations. This old section here just looks more genuine, for want of a better word, albeit falling down. There are layers and layers of defensive walls. This place must have been damn near impenetrable. And that is our visit completed. I think we picked the right time of day, not too busy and not too hot, but it's certainly heating up now. Time for a cool drink, I think. The old town does in the main seem to be quite unspoilt, other than cars being all over the bloody place. Apparently Corsica still has its separatist terrorist group in action. It had gone into a truce with the government a while back, but apparently that was broken a couple of years back. We've not seen any evidence of that, other than a shop we just walked by that had what I assumed were the separatist group's flags pinned up outside. I thought it better not to take pictures of those, for the obvious reasons. We are taking the steps of doom on our return journey. They are partially in the shade, which is cool. The city, or the town of Corte, is known as a centre for hiking. But given we are surrounded by lots of very steep mountains, rest assured all of those hikes will involve some pretty gnarly climbs. So we won't be hiking from the city today.
We are in Corte, and down the road from the campsite is this lovely little swimming spot. A little bit cold, but Mark's going in for a dip.